Welcome back to Ant Recaps. Today I'm going to explain the movie, The Adventures of RoboRex, released in the year 2014. At the start of the film, a young boy named James is shown, and he has made machines and robots for his tasks. They wake him up to go to school daily, even he brushes through the robotic machines. James lives with his father in his house. However, because of his job, his father was unable to provide adequate care for James. Due to it, James stays upset, and he also doesn't have any friends except for his dog. James starts playing with his dog after having breakfast instead of going to school. The school bus leaves because of it after it. James's father scolds him in the car while dropping him to school. James becomes agitated, and his mood suffers. That's why he starts making drawing in his notebook instead of listening to the lecture. He has made drawings in his notebook during lunch. A few boys irritate James and break the locket while taking it from his neck. A girl named Kara returns James's locket. That's why they become friends. James was happy after meeting Kara, and returning home, James is shown playing with his dog. Meanwhile, he sees a lightning thing passing from the sky. He goes behind that thing along with his dog, and the thing is a massive egg. A robotic cat emerges from it while breaking it, and it emits sound waves from its mouth. A huge hole was made in the wall due to those waves. Later, the robotic cat flies through the hole, and the egg was also finished with a blast. James becomes worried about seeing all this because he didn't understand what had happened right now. Meanwhile, Kara arrives, who was James's new friend. Kara has a camera all the time for reporting, and she starts reporting. She writes the incident after asking James about it. She also takes a lot of pictures of that place. Then James takes Kara to his home for dinner. James's father becomes happy meeting Kara, and then she leaves after having dinner. James couldn't sleep because of thinking about the robotic cat. Then he awakes and starts joining his locket that was broken by the boys in the school. After joining it, his house starts moving, and he finds smoke and light outside his house. James moves out to sea. There was a robotic dog that tells its name RoboRex. Meanwhile, Kara arrives and starts taking its pictures. RoboRex damages her camera through its energy. Later, RoboRex makes a screen in front of them, and James sees himself in the future. His future tells him that he has made this robotic dog with his robot and have inserted my whole memory in its brain, and James asks his future the reason for doing this. The future James tells him there was a professor who was in apocalypse and used to work with your mother to find out the energy code. Then your mother got that code and placed it in your locket while hiding it from the professor. Now the future professor has sent a destructive cat, that robotic cat, and he has sent it to get this crystal. If the professor will get this code, he will occupy this world in the future. Now only James can save the world while ending that destructive cat. James' future has sent RoboRex with the help of a time machine, so James will save the crystal from that professor. James returns to his room with RoboRex and couldn't sleep the whole night because of thinking all this. He takes RoboRex to his school in his bag the next morning. The professor means the future apocalypse is shown working in the lab. Meanwhile, the lab's wall breaks and a huge hole was made there. The destructive cat arrives and shows the future of the professor on a screen. His future tells him that James's mother has placed the crystal in her son's locket after getting it. Now it is the professor's task to get the crystal from James and has to send it to the future professor through a time machine. Now this robotic cat will help the professor in all this, but the professor becomes furious hearing this, so he leaves and moves to his secret lab. Here, the professor will make a time machine. RoboRex appeared to assist James, while the robotic cat appeared to assist the professor through the time machine. Will James be able to save the crystal now? Or the professor will control the world after getting the crystal? We will know its answer later in the movie. The boys again tease James during lunchtime in school. They try to snatch their bag because they suspect there is something in the bag. RoboRex, who was in his bag, brings him to a town while making him disappear from school. Here we discover James's father is a police officer, and he investigates the hole in the professor's lab with his team. Then James's father receives a call from his school that James didn't return to school after lunchtime. James's father becomes worried hearing this and leaves from there. The scene shifts to the robotic cat. It reaches the town while chasing James and RoboRex. There is a fight between RoboRex and that robotic cat, but the cat destroys everything while emitting sound waves from its mouth. RoboRex was making those things fine with its sound waves here. We discover the cat was more powerful than RoboRex and tries to snatch James's locket. RoboRex makes itself and James disappear and reach home. Meanwhile, James's father arrives at home, and James hurriedly puts RoboRex in his bag. James's father asks him the reason for being missing from school, and he tells I found a robotic cat, and it happened because of it. James's father doesn't believe him, so he moves back to his room being upset. Then he puts RoboRex on charge, but then Kara arrives at James. Through the windows, Kara asks James about his mother, and he tells his mother disappeared after giving him this crystal. None knows where she has gone. Then Kara makes the pictures of the crystal locket. They feed those pictures into the computer. Then RoboRex shows the codes present on the crystal to James and Kara. RoboRex says, "One day I will get the energy formula after decoding it." The scene shifts to the professor, who says to his future, "I will find out the crystal after making the time machine myself." I don't need James' crystal. After saying this, the professor gets busy making the time machine, forgetting the crystal. After making it, he does the experiment twice on the stopwatch, so he will take the watch 2 minutes forward in the future. He couldn't succeed because he didn't apply the energy formula properly. There was a blast in his lab because of a short circuit, and the stopwatch broke. James and Kara moves outside the house when James's father leaves, so they will end the robotic cat after finding the professor. They pass by the hole with RoboRex, and the cat comes to the lab in search of a file. They hide, and the robotic cat leaves after breaking a small cupboard to take out the file. The professor does a new experiment for the 3rd time on the stopwatch while reading the new formula. There was a blast like before due to the short circuit. The stopwatch breaks, and his face and clothes turned black. Now the professor believes he can't do anything without the energy code of the crystal. He can't make the time machine. We discover James's father, along with his team, has fixed a camera in the lab, but they couldn't see the cat in the footage, and they just see its shadow. Seeing it, James's father remembers what James said about the robotic cat, and he immediately moves for reaching home. James, Kara, and RoboRex also return home. Now the cat makes James and Kara faint with the smoke of its mouth through the window. It also fixes a small device on RoboRex's head. James's father also reaches home during all this. He finds the condition of James's room messy as he moves there because everything was broken. The wall of the room was also broken, and there wasn't anyone in the room, so James's father moves with his dog in search of James, being worried. James's dog gets signals from RoboRex, and it tells the way to James's father. James awakes and finds himself tied along with Kara in the professor's lab. RoboRex's system was also not working, and the cat brought them here after making them faint. The professor takes out James's locket and fixes it in his machine. Now the light and energy emitted from the crystal move to the sky. James and Kara release themselves and takes out the device fixed on RoboRex's head. It was fixed on its head through an arrow. Now its system recovers, and it tells James that the cat placed the metal virus on my head. My system shut down due to it. It tells him that the professor didn't make the machine properly, and it will blast instead of working. It will cause the spread of the crystal energy, and there will be destruction. The fight is shown between RoboRex and the crystal, and the robots were throwing each other here. James tells the professor he didn't make the time machine proper. It will blast, and the professor gets scared to hear this, and he takes out the crystal locket from the machine and wears it. Then he runs from the lab along with the cat, now James, and Kara have to shut down the machine somehow. James's father also reaches outside the professor's lab with his dog. He captures the professor and arrests him while taking out the crystal from his neck. James's dog starts fighting with the robotic cat, but it falls down being injured. On another side, there was James's name on the machine's screen in the lab here. James understands everything that the code hidden by his mother in the crystal is a signal. James can reach his mother through that signal, and Kara turns off all the switches to turn off the machine. The machine wasn't shut down yet, so RoboRex takes James to the top of the machine. Then James takes out all the power cells to shut down the machine. He takes out all power cells, but James can't take out the last cell moving down. James moves a steel ladder. That collides with the water pipe of the machine after hitting many ladders. The pipe breaks, and as the pipe breaks, the water falls on the machine. Then the machine turns off because of being cold. Similarly, James and Kara delay the blast until the machine is turned off. The lab's building breaks right after the breakage of the machine. The building falls after getting broken. RoboRex takes James and Kara outside the lab while disappearing them. James's father was also there now. RoboRex places the metal virus made by its power and memory on the robotic cat's head to end it. The cat's system ruins because of it, as it has made the virus with the help of James' future memory, and this is the reason RoboRex doesn't have power and memory. James becomes depressed to see RoboRex like this. James's dog was also on the ground because of the cat's attack. Meanwhile, there was an ambulance, and a lady tells, after checking the dog, that now it will die. James can't bear this condition of his dog's, so he gets an idea, and he fixes the metal virus on his dog's head while removing it from the cat's head. Due to it, the memory of his dog went to RoboRex's system. Now, James becomes happy to see this because he got his dog as RoboRex. They later return home with RoboRex, and James' sadness is also relieved by RoboRex's arrival. He used to be content because he was content with his RoboRex. This movie concludes on a happy note. Thank you for watching.